All right, can anyone hear us? This will be interesting. Can you pull your phone out and see if you can pull us up? This is going to be difficult. Well, I guess it's not because the logo is on. Show close, shut down. Show close, open.
The missus is doing her final.
Oh, so you can hear us? We are hearable. Let's see. And if I go here to YouTube.
I have nothing showing that we're live.
Well, sometimes that happens. The videos. Bombs and Vance channel. Live. Showing we're live. Let's see if we show up. Well, sometimes that happens. Okay, so we're broadcasting. So that's good news. Let's go to the end. Oh, that's not the direction I wanted to go with that. All right, we've gone to the end. I'm going to hit the show open, show close, show open, and then I'm going to hit this. All right, we've gone to the end. So we'll see if it's playing. Show open. And I'm going to hit this. Alright, we've gone to the end. So we'll see if it's playing. And it's not playing. So the music's not playing. Show open. And we got the logo.
Well, I don't know what you did to it.
So we'll see if it's playing. And it's not playing. So the music's not playing. All right, we're getting close. Almost got the logo. Yep.
Well, I don't know what you did to it.
This sounds like my parents the first time they got a. And it's not playing. So the music's not playing. All right.
I'm not wearing my glasses. I can't see.
Almost got the logo. Yep.
Well, I don't know what you did to it.
All right. This sounds like a.
All right, well, it's
like
8 o'clock.
So my parents the first time they got a. And it's not playing. So the music's not playing. All right. Have to mute that or else we'll be going on a constant loop forever. Well, we don't have a theme song tonight. So Tim Turner goes, why is John taking the Mrs. Job? Because it's jobs that nobody wants, and she does them very well. How are you doing, the Missus, tonight?
Oh, fabulous.
This is our show, such as it is. We don't have a mark yet, I don't believe. Nope, just us. So you put together some stuff, and why don't you tell what happened with all your computation this evening?
No, Windows has just helpfully broken my computer. Microsoft has. Because it has something to do with the updates it keeps trying to install, and every time it tries to install them, which it does without my permission, whenever I walk away from the screen, it goes, oh, here's my chance to break your computer. And then it gets halfway through installing them, and then it won't load Windows.
Oh, all right. And Tim notes that we had a several second delay feedback. I was trying to watch the show to make sure we had audio going out, and fortunately we did. So there's good news there, at least, I guess. And I'm not seeing Mark, so
I thought Mark said he wasn't going to be here this week.
No, he said he was. He said he was.
Okay.
So if he shows up, he shows up, and if not, well, obviously we wish him a very.
But unfortunately, we don't have the Mark is late sounder to play.
We don't have yes.
No, we don't have any sound apparently.
Yes, we don't have any sounds that we can play. But hey, you've got us, and we've got booze, and this is one time that the missus is drinking as well.
Yeah, because I just gave up.
You just gave up.
My
Sometimes
laptop is now essentially just a big paperweight on my desk. So
Tadana Hito notes, please insert Target gift card to activate Windows. Do not
redeem!
Do not redeem. Please do not redeem. Well, welcome everyone to the 112th live edition of Bombs and Bands and Wednesday
I was
Rants.
gonna slam this glass of wine like it's a shot.
Well, it's not really wine. It's like
I would. It's cold.
but it's like 6% because it's not
That was
iced tea. It's lemonade.
That was what was cold and in the fridge. And
Absolutely.
it's not my favorite, and I don't particularly like it. But
Yep.
any port in a storm, as they say.
Yes. Well, we're both tonight in the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. Mark is nowhere here right now, which is, again, we got this covered. Which leads us to, this is our Termasween episode.
Terweenmus.
Well, no, that's the Eve episode, so this is the early one. It's Terweenmus between Christmas. See?
Oh, right.
Because it's the three phases.
Terweenmus was last Tuesday. Come on.
And I myself am looking forward to Casual Fribs Day, which will be the first 8th day of the week, and that'll be in 2024. Anyhow, that's from a show called Better Off Ted, which was one of the last really good
Brilliant,
shows.
but canceled.
Brilliant, but canceled.
Yeah.
So tonight, we're a little bit freeform. The missus has put something together. You could just tell everybody what it was. It took hundreds of hours of production.
It really didn't. I mean, it took me the time that my computer was actually working this week to do it, which was like about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been an hour that I could have been doing something productive, like sleeping.
Ah, yes. Sleep. To sleep, perchance to... Well, never mind.
Yeah.
There's enough Shakespeare for the night. So, again, it's rather casual.
I was just watching Kunk on History downstairs, where she's talking about William Shakespeare and his dreadful, boring plays. And if you're not familiar with Kunk on History, look her up on YouTube. She's hilarious.
Yeah. It's a how would you say it? A not so bright person.
A tongue-in-cheek. She's playing a character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She's obviously relatively intelligent. So anyway, it's us, and so mainly this is going to be Think Real Fast. But since Mark is here, it's just the misses with all
Mark
the
is
questions.
not here.
Is not here, right?
Right.
So we'll talk a little bit through the stories of the day. We'll see how that takes us, and tonight Hito notes what asked me what I'm going to wear to Casual Fribs Day, and to celebrate, I'm going to wear a denim pantsuit, which is the right answer according to HR.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But when they ask people to car poop, that didn't work out so well.
That was not mandatory. Thank God.
But we do know what people will do in order to park slightly closer to the office. All right. Anyway, going back to Think Real Fast. You can imagine the sound of there. It's the...
I have one. So both of my things this week were going to be jackasses.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's wait till a little bit later.
Okay.
I want to do
You asked me first.
Well, I want to...
Is it my fault that you asked me and then I came up with an answer and then you went, no, let's do that later?
Well, that gives more people time to get here. Jim comes screeching in a little bit later, and he likes to vote. So anyway, Think Real Fast, the Think Real Slow edition. Let's first meander on Conversation Street to the Empire State, New York. A bridge bombed in Niagara. See, this is also breaking news. By Canadians on Viagra.
Breaking news! Was that good impromptu?
Yes, the
Thank
Rainbow
you.
Bridge over Niagara Falls was bombed by what reports are indicating were some foreign dudes. Whoops. The first reports were totally wrong, maybe. A vehicle going in excess of 100 miles per hour.
Filled with youth.
Mm-hmm. And so my question was going to be, Mark, is it now time for a common sense ban on assault foreigners? But I guess I'll just ask you, the missus.
Nah, we just let him in all the time. Well, what is in that glass?
Wine?
It's a little chunkier than I like it.
Oh, it's chunky wine.
Okay.
Anyway, so the missus, do you think there should be a mandatory immigrant buyback as well?
Are you asking me if we should be able to sell immigrants?
No. We buy them and then repatriate them
Oh, okay.
back to their... And we make them free-range
But
immigrants.
then how do I get them in the first place? Oh, I win them in the lottery.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes it legal.
Okay. Well, let's stick in New York for a while because nobody else. Whoop. Oh. Let's see. Sticking in New York, governor by default, Kathy. Okay, so her name is spelled so. I've got three possible pronunciations. Probably both,
Okay.
all three of them are wrong. So I've got Hockhole,
Hockhole?
Hochschul, or Hochhole.
Crotchhole.
Crotchhole. Yes, governor default.
Kathy Crotchhole.
Governor by default. Remember, she got the governorship
Right.
because what's his face resigned. So you know,
Because he pissed off some very important Democrats somewhere.
yeah, because otherwise he'd
Oh, yeah.
still be in.
They wanted him for president.
Yeah, has created a Ministry of Truth in New York to monitor for hate speech and also to indoctrinate children on learning to hate programs like this one. So the missus, if she's so smart, why is her name so stupid?
Crotchhole.
Just Crotchhole.
Yeah.
So who do you think is the worst speaker? Her or Fetterman?
I haven't really heard her speak.
I did today, and it's
Okay.
awful.
Is it bad? Is she worse than Kamala?
All right.
Kamala.
If I had
Kamala.
However
you
six
say her
beers or six vodkas or 6 bottles of wine, I would still be more coherent than her. They didn't hire their best person.
At least
for this.
Fetterman had a stroke. He has a good reason.
All right. Well, still in New York, where illegal aliens are getting free turkeys ahead of low-income New Yorkers. Do you think it's because they're more American than us?
I don't know. Maybe they have larger pockets and they can fit them in their pants.
Ooh, pocket turkey.
Yeah. Delicious.
I like the idea of pocket turkey. Do you think that they'll know how to eat it, or do you think they'll just try and use it as furniture? Because immigrants are small. Like I've heard they're only like 1.5 feet tall.
They'll jump on them and try to ride them over Niagara Falls.
Ooh.
That could be entertaining.
And maybe that's why everything exploded. Mm-hmm. Actually, I did see one camera, and it is available out there. One camera shot of the border, and it does show a car going complete Dukes of Hazzard up in it's still jumping.
My question is why do we have a border crossing between the U.S. and Canada named after the thing that your pet goes across when it dies? Which is supposed to be heaven?
That's the Rainbow Connection.
No, that's the Rainbow Bridge. Which is what this thing was called. Anybody out there on the internet know the answer to that?
Tadana stuck on Christmas. What I want, or what I'm going to wear for casual Fribs Day.
Oh, okay.
All right. Argentina's new
Suit and tie for you, Tadano.
Argentina's new chainsaw wielding president-elect Javier Milei has vowed to get the Falkland Islands back.
Milieu?
It notes it's non-negotiable that Great Britain should hand them over. So do you think that England should hold on to the Falklands since they've already lost London?
They better keep a pretty tight hold on their Falklands. They know what's good for them.
I saw one picture. The Falklands are really kind of two big islands separated by a central channel. And just
Do they need to
had a
put
line
something
between the
under
two.
each of them to hold them up and give them adequate support?
I don't know.
A Falklandsier, so to speak.
So my question is this. Is this the Argentinian thing maybe a good thing? Maybe this will provide the Falklands with a Taco Bell.
Do they need a Taco Bell?
Well, then they wouldn't have to run for the border.
Let's give them Taco Bell, but I draw the line at Taco John's. That stays here.
Taco Tico.
Maybe. I like their nachos. Their Don Nacho Grandes at Taco Tico. They're better than Taco Bell.
All right. Greta Thunberg has now admitted her goal is really to overthrow the entire capitalist system, which is pretty, that's a pretty big goal for when you're 18. I mean, it's like most 18-year-olds, getting them out of bed is kind of difficult.
That's true.
But
their secondary goal tends to be a Marxist takeover of the entire world. And that's because it's only gone so horribly wrong every other time in history because they weren't the ones in charge.
That's right. So her list for things that capitalism is responsible for. It's responsible for imperialism, oppression, genocide, and according to the quote I have from her, racist, oppressive extractionalism, which is...
The foo is extractionalism.
Well, that means that we make mines so that we can... Or we buy stuff. So we buy cobalt. And so since...
But I thought that was a good thing because that's how we make the batteries for all the electric cars is by strip mining in China.
No, the cobalt comes from the Congo.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's even better.
So anyway, that's what she
miss it.
said that she wants to get rid of. So my question is, what's the downside to the list? All right. Do you think she was dropped on her head on as a baby?
Oh, definitely.
That's the other
Yes,
topic.
that's a given.
All right. And Willie Cully notes that the bridge car is $300,000 after taxes, a Bentley Excelsior 5. Now that sounds like a car.
It sounds like they might be, I don't know, certain nationalities that tend to have very expensive cars and who might also resort to terrorism. Who could that be?
Let's not go there. It was Joe Biden's 422nd
Second birthday.
Yes, it's in Indy on Sunday. So, do you have any birthday wishes for Joe?
Yes. Make it through November 2024 in decent health.
Okay.
Yes. After that, do whatever you want.
Yeah. You're just afraid of Kamala.
I'm not afraid of Kamala. I mean, not like, oh my God, this Kamala, I gotta go run and hide. But like, she's a complete nincompoop.
It's too bad she didn't take up stand-up. There should be Kamala comedian.
So did you hear? Who was it that?
Well, we're not done with the question.
I had a Kamala question.
Well, when do you think Joe will be back from maternity leave?
After he has the baby.
Okay. All right. So carry on with your question.
No, there's some Republican politician who said that Kamala shouldn't be president because she has an IQ of like 80 or something like that, and people are saying that's racist, and I'm like, does that person think all black people have IQs of 80? I don't think that's the guy who has the racist problem. I'm saying Kamala's stupid.
She is stupid.
Which arguably she is. She's an imbecile.
Well, speaking of people who aren't imbeciles, my cousin. My cousin, Geert Wilders.
Except he has an S on the end of his name.
Well, yeah, that's because in Europe, you have to have an S at the end of your name.
Oh, okay.
He just trumped on elections in whatever the country the Dutch come from. Yeah, whatever that one is. Wilders ran on a Kick All the Immigrants Out platform and won in a landslide. So my question is, do you think he'll want to build a replica of the Maginot Line?
Maybe the Great Wall of China.
So what is it you think about the Dutch?
I love the Dutch, and that's why I hold them to a higher standard.
Another better off Ted reference. Let's see if we can go for 3 for the night. Reports are out, and that's actually what I set that up for.
I know.
Reports are out that the U.S. military is this close to creating autonomous weapons platforms that can make firing decisions on their own because China's doing the same thing. Do you think they'll go after the best chess players first, those machines?
No, I think they'll go after their political opponents who are peacefully protesting in the streets.
So is this how you get Skynet?
Oh, I think we already have Skynet. It just hasn't woken up yet.
Well, actually, here's one of the things. This would have been a breaking news sounder. I just read this just minutes before coming into the control room. So part of the whole, there's a bit of shakeup this week with Sam Altman, who was the CEO of
Right,
OpenAI.
been following that.
And
They kicked him out, and now he's back in, and they kicked out the board.
Yes, but the reason that they say the board rebelled is because something very dangerous had been created. That maybe they're there at artificial general intelligence.
Again, all of these people have seen the Terminator movies. All of them have. And they all went, hey, it'd be a great idea if we tried to replicate that. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, you think. one of the alternatives is the Road Warrior, which takes us to France. The immigrant gang that launched a knife attack at a French village's winter dance injured 17 and killed one and said, "We are here to stab white people." Why do you think the authorities said that they weren't sure that race had anything to do with it?
Because I'm going to guess the people that did the stabbing weren't white people.
They weren't French. Well, I mean...
No, they're totally French. They're in France, aren't they? Racist.
There you go. So...
Why did you say they have IQs of 80? Oh my god! I don't even know you anymore.
So what do you think they'll get for punishment? A week of community service?
They'll be forced to watch Jerry Lewis movies.
But he is a genius, huh?
No, you say that, but I was junior in college, hanging out in the dorms because I lived in an apartment at that point. Because my friend who lived there was having a party. And so we're just kind of hanging out, chilling. And there's this girl who my friend kind of had a thing for. And she's French. And she comes down the hall and he says something to her about, "Hey, yeah, that's my French friend, blah, blah, blah," whatever her name is. He says, "You like Jerry Lewis movies?" She goes, "Jerry Lewis, he is genius, no?" And everyone in the room, no.
All right, well,
Actually happened.
Well, now we're here at the jackass part. Because we've got about just a little bit more think real fast. So tell us about the jackasses that you found out in the world this week.
All right. Well, the first jackass was, and I might be able to, I was going to pull him up and you told me not to, was Mark Wayne Mullen, who is a senator from Oklahoma, who was in a Senate hearing. I don't remember what the committee was, but Bernie Sanders was in charge. Bernie Sanders was the adult in the room, and it was hilarious to watch because he's trying to keep many of these monsters that he's created, because they were interviewing this guy who was he is currently the president of the Teamsters, and he had some brushes with the law for trying to intimidate witnesses, and maybe he slashed some tires, but he'd never admit to that. Who can say what happened to your business?
Those stairs.
Maybe it burned down on its own.
Those stairs, they're tricky at night.
Yeah. You slip, you fall down. You accidentally shoot yourself in the back of the head 5 or 6 times. It can happen. And this guy is like the quintessential mafia, the guy who talks like this, right? Way to be a stereotype, man. But anyway, he had written via Twitter or someplace like that some very inflammatory things about Mark Wayne Mullen. And one of the things that he said kind of was like, if we're ever in the same room, I'll kick your ass or something to that. And so Mark Wayne Mullen kind of said, "Well, I'm here." And the guy says, "Well, anywhere, anytime." And so Mark Wayne Mullen keeps kind of going, "Well, let's go." And he stood up and he started to take his wedding ring off. Now, to let you know, the union guy looks kind of like
Joe Pesci?
a little bit more like Marlon Brando. Okay? Mark Wayne Mullen is a former MMA boxer, professional. 5-0 professional record. Okay? And I think he maybe coaches high school wrestling or something. But he's a buff dude. Mm-hmm. So, in a fight. And he also has cauliflower ear, which should tell you how serious he is about being on mats. But anyway, Bernie's trying to keep all of this from erupting, right? And Mark Wayne Mullen finally gets to the point where he says, "All right, there's a charity event in Tulsa, Oklahoma in April. You show up there and we'll fight and we'll do it for charity." And the guy kind of starts backing down, and Bernie's like, "Nobody's going to fight. You're a U.S. senator, for God's sake. Sit down. Put your coat back on." And the union thug says, "Well, that's not what I meant by that at all." So Mullen says, "What did you mean?" He said, "Oh, when I said I'd meet anytime, anywhere, I meant we could go have coffee and talk about our differences." Way to be brave and back that up, big guy.
So that's jackass number 1.
That's jackass number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Jackass number 2 is the U.S. Navy. And I think I do have that here. Let me find it, because I just pulled it up not long ago. See, that I don't have.
Well, just tell the story.
Give me just a sec.
I'll just tell the story. You're doing a great job. Everyone loves silence.
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it?
Just tell the story.
Hi, My name is Johnny, and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, and I'm Conchi, and I use she, her pronouns.
And we're here to talk about pronouns.
What is a pronoun? A pronoun is how we identify ourselves apart from our name, and it's also how people refer to us in conversations.
Using the right pronouns.
So that is the beginning of an actual U.S. Navy training video. And it's about 4 minutes long. And it's all about using the right pronouns for people. So, and you have to introduce yourself and give them your pronouns. But if you use the wrong pronouns, remember, they literally say this. It's not about you. It's about how they identify.
So, the only person whose feelings matter
Is that person.
is the person whose pronouns you have to guess.
But my feeling on that is everyone say this right now exactly what she said. It's not about you. It's about me. So now who have we all determined that it's about? Ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I think whenever you run into this, it's not about you. It's about me.
Yeah, it's about you.
Yeah.
All right.
So those are our jackasses.
There you go. Do we have a vote for that? Tim Turner? 2, for God's sake, 2. Any other votes? In the absence of any other votes, so we'll give another second or two there.
Okay. And if you want to pull that one up and look it up on your own, it's very easy to find on YouTube. Just U.S. Navy woke training video pronouns. Pop right up.
Yep.
And there's also a pretty funny, a guy put his own little added military 2 cents into it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 2, and I get to vote since Mark's not here, and I say it is 2. So.
Ding!
All right.
Congratulations, not
Navy.
United States Navy.
You are the jackass of the week.
Yeah. You have a long way to go to catch up with Kamala. Kamala? Which is it?
Yeah. So the ozone hole gets bigger, but what could be the trigger? The ozone hole is maybe tied to volcanoes and not Freon. And actually, this one was one where I really had Mark kind of teed up for, because this is actually a story that was on his blog. So just gonna let him go wild with it. But so the short version is that there's a lot of data that shows that it's when the volcanoes go that the ozone goes down, and maybe we just made our air conditioning crappy for no particular reason.
No. Surely not.
Yeah. Well, the other thing to think about too is that, Freon is a very heavy molecule, and so for it to get up, if it's very big and heavy, it has to get. It's just not. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway,
the science is settled.
so
How many times do we have to have this discussion?
Yeah. The missus, is it true that we just can't get enough fluorine in our diets? So?
Who could argue that? I love fluorine. I'm drinking it right now.
No, you're not. That's wine.
Oh, okay. Kind of tastes like it might be fluorine.
All right. This story might be a keeper if the cost of chicken gets cheaper. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon said he saw deflation on the horizon, maybe, even as prices have gone up 20, 30, 40% on some items in a single year. So are you feeling that deflation raise yet, the missus?
Oh no, does it mean my job will have to pay back part of my salary?
Oh. And my question for you was, do you think this is part of Joe building back better? He had to burn the village to save it?
Well, he's done a pretty good job building the deep state back better.
Mm.
So bravo. At least you did that right,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, wait.
So, 50 years ago tomorrow, the first astronauts to celebrate Thanksgiving in space did so on Skylab. So my question is, do you think their uncle got drunk and said that mom never really loved him?
Probably. And then Skylab fell apart and fell into somebody's wading pool in the backyard.
In Australia.
Yeah.
So my question for you, the missus, was, when do you think they invented the technology so they could poop in space?
I don't think they have.
Okay. Well, that was the last question I had. What are you looking for?
I was looking for a thing that I found earlier because I wanted to read, because sometimes I do get actually serious. And I had it, but I had to go back and look it up. But I found it now, so.
You have a thing you want to read for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's the last thing.
Okay.
So whenever we're ready to be done.
We are ready to be done. So read us out for Mrs.
Excuse me. Normally I don't subject you to my coughing when we're doing the podcast because I just reach up and mute my mic most of the time. So my apologies for that. So Thanksgiving is really one of my favorite holidays, and it's really gotten to be that much more so as I've gotten older. And, where'd it go? There it is. Okay. So I have a poem for you. You gonna snap your fingers for me all? Beatnik style. Yeah.
Library.
Yeah. This is called Fire Dreams by Carl Sandburg. I remember here by the fire, in the flickering reds and saffrons, they came in a ramshackle tub, pilgrims in tall hats, pilgrims of iron jaws, drifting by weeks on beaten seas, and the random chapters say they were glad and sang to God. And so, since the Iron John men sat down and said, "Thanks, O God, for life and soup and a little less than a hobo handout today," since gray winds blew gray patterns of sleet on Plymouth Rock, since the Iron Jaw men sang, "Thanks, O God." You and I, O child of the West, remember more than ever November and the hunter's moon, November and the yellow-spotted hills. And so, in the name of the iron-jawed men, I will stand up and say yes till the finish is come and gone. God of all broken hearts, empty hands, sleeping soldiers, God of all star-flung beaches of night sky, I and my love child stand up together today and sing, "Thanks, O God."
Wonderful. And didn't quite finish exactly when I thought it was. That's why my drink was up to my mouth.
That is really touching.
Well, since we're having these technical difficulties, this is where we are, and this is where we're at. So next week, I'm pretty sure that we'll be back to in a much better spot. So,
as John Fetterman would say, hello, good night, everybody.
So good night, everybody. Hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving of giving thanks and peace and some nice quiet.
And enjoy some turkey and some cranberry sauce. And some pumpkin pie.
So take care, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Y'all come back now, you hear?